Hey guys, I wanted to make a follow-up video to my Sinless Perfectionism video. I wanted to address some of the talking points that these people use and the verses they take out of context, mostly just Hebrews 12:14, and I also wanted to pull up this list of the 613 laws that God gave Israel in the past that show what true perfection is. Many of these people are saying that you have to be perfect to enter heaven, where you have to try to be perfect, or that you have to keep some of these that you might be able to fail like once a year or something crazy. I don't know. Who knows really how that would work, but I wanted to appeal to them also and show them just that it's not just the Ten Commandments that they are needing to keep if they are trying to be justified by the law. It's all 613 of them, and some of these are really easy to break, like shaving your beard or having like a picture of a cat on the wall, like a photo, or of a it could be of a fish or a dog or something. That's breaking the law as well. And if we know that if you've broken one, you've broken them all. But I want to go on from this right now. You can go and look at this and read them if you want to. But I just wanted to pull this up because this is what you're saying if you're in the holiness movement. The people that have been attacking me and my subscribers, this is what you're saying that you keep. All of this. And I don't believe you. This is why I call you a hypocrite and a liar. But also we have 1 John 1, is it 8, 9, or 10? It's not, it's 9 or 10. I know it's not 8. But it says that if anyone says they are without sin, the truth is not in them. So we have that also testifying that, and Ecclesiastes, I think 7 something, maybe it's not 7, but there's another verse in Ecclesiastes. But we have other things testifying that you are not perfect, that you are not without sin. If you're trying to say something like, you have imputed righteousness onto you from Christ, and that when God sees you, He doesn't see the sin, He doesn't remember it, so you don't sin. That's one thing, but that's a totally different topic. I'll kind of get into that in a minute, but that's different. That's not what they're saying at all. So anyway, I want to move on to Hebrews 12:14 because this is the verse that a lot of them use to try to justify their doctrine of you have to be perfect. So this is Hebrews 12:14. You have to be perfect in your actions, that you have to cease from sinning completely, or you will not be saved. So this is Hebrews 12:14. Make every effort to live in peace with everyone and to be holy. Without holiness, no one will see the Lord. And that's true. We should make every effort to live in peace, and we should strive to be holy. But the truth of the matter is, the Lord is the only holy one, and our holiness comes from Him. It's imputed holiness, just like it's imputed righteousness. The Bible tells us repeatedly that there is no one righteous, no, not one. That our righteousness, our own righteousness, the righteousness from us, is as filthy rags. We go on, and I want to just prove to you that no one is holy besides the Lord. I want to go to Revelation 15, and this is what the angels said about the Lord. Who will not, and this is verse 15 in the New International Version. Who will not fear you, Lord, and bring glory to your name? For you alone are holy. All nations will come and worship before you. For your righteous acts have been revealed. So right here, they're saying that He is the only holy one. So, when you're sitting there saying that no one will see, without holiness, no one will see the Lord, well, if He's the only holy one, where does our holiness come from? It is imputed from the Lord. Our righteousness, our holiness, everything. Because in John 15, He clearly tells us, Jesus tells us in John 15, that apart from Him, we can do nothing. So we can't achieve some holiness or righteousness on our own. It all comes from the Lord. And when you're sitting there trying to say that you have kept these 613 laws and that you're earning some sort of your own righteousness or doing something to maintain it, you are mocking God. You're mocking the cross. You're mocking what Jesus did, and you're deceived because you do not keep all of these. And we know it goes even deeper than just outwardly breaking these. It goes into the heart. That's why I have Matthew 5:28, and I've talked about this before. Matthew 5:28, this is the New International Version. This is Jesus speaking. But I tell you that if anyone looks at a woman lustfully, But I tell you that anyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart. So right here, He's saying that if you've even thought about it, if it's entered your mind at all, you've already done it. And we know from James 2 that if you break one, you break them all. But I want to come back to James 2, and I'm sorry I'm going so fast. My microphone messes up, and I'm going to get a new one. I put that in my update video. But yeah, I'm trying to go fast and hopefully get this done before it messes up and then I lose everything. But I'll come back to James 2 in just a second. But it says in that if you've broken one of the laws, you've broken them all. And Jesus said if you've broken them in your heart, in your mind, you've broken it already too. So, you have to keep all of these things. And I don't know what all of them say. I've not read every single one of these, but I know that there's a lot that I break every day. And it's just... I don't know where they get this doctrine from. If you're just honest, you're going to see that you are a sinner, that we are only saved by grace through our faith in Jesus Christ. Because I know I don't have to read all these. I can read a couple and tell you that I've broken them, that I break them every day in my mind. If I don't break it physically, I break one in my mind. Maybe I don't love this person. Maybe I lack faith. And that's why I have Romans 14:23 pulled up here. I'm going to read it in the New International Version as well because it's at the top. And this is what Paul wrote in Romans 14:23. But whoever has doubts is condemned if they eat, because their eating is not from faith. And everything that does not come from faith is a sin. So if you doubt at all anything, if there's any fear or anxiety at all, at any point in the day or in your life, that is a sin, because it's not a faith. We shouldn't have that. If we trust in Christ, we should know that it will all be taken care of by Him. So you see the level of the law. Jesus upped the bar of the law and made it even harder to keep, because people thought in that time they were keeping it as well. But He was saying, no, we've all fallen short of the glory of God. We've all broken the law. And I want to go over here. I don't know why I have Hebrews 10 pulled up here, but I wanted to go here and read something in James, because I've actually just, really had this sink in, and I wanted to read this and show you guys. So this is James 2, and this doesn't have anything to do with faith without works. This is before that. So this is in the New King James Version, and I'm going to start at verse 8. If you really fulfill the royal law according to the Scripture, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. You do well. But if you show partiality, you commit sin and are convicted by the law as transgressors. For whoever shall keep the whole law yet stumble in one point, he is guilty of all. For he who said, do not commit adultery, also said, do not murder. Now if you do not commit adultery, but you do murder, you have become a transgressor of the law. So speak and so do as those who will be judged by the law of liberty. For judgment is without mercy to the one who has been shown no mercy. For judgment is without mercy to the one who has shown no mercy. Mercy triumphs over judgment. So right here, he's saying if you've broken them one, you've broken them all. And don't be partial to someone. Show partiality. He's also saying that you want to be judged not by the law of Moses, that is without mercy, but to be judged by the law of liberty. This is something impactful right here. Those of you who think you are going to be, set free or justified by anything in the law of Moses are fooling yourselves, because it has no mercy. You have to keep everything in thought and deed. And do you even know what is in this? Because I don't know all of these laws, and I know that I don't keep them. But I'm not, and I'm not trying to brag about that. I'm not trying to say don't go keep these laws. If you really can, go do it. But I don't believe you can. Matter of fact, I know, because Jesus said without Him, without me, you can do nothing. So, I don't know. I'm really getting frustrated with this, and pray for me, because it's so clear. We don't want to be under that. And if we're trying to be justified by that, we are condemning ourselves. If you think that you're going to be justified by the law, you have to understand you better keep everything, because there is no mercy in the law. But we are under the law of Christ, the law of liberty, which gives mercy. It's not that we have a license to sin, it's that we have forgiveness for sin. Because if we didn't have that, we would all be condemned to hell. It's just like David was called a man after God's own heart. But David sinned. He was sinned when the law was still in effect. This was before Christ, but he was shown mercy by God. It's the same thing today. If David was judged according to the law, he would be thrown into hell, but he was judged according to his faith. Abraham was judged according to his faith. They all were. There was no one going to heaven that was, that kept the law. I mean, I guess you could say Jesus, but I'm speaking of anyone besides Jesus. There's no one that kept the law. Anyone in heaven went there by faith. The law will justify no one. All right, guys, I ranted. Sorry about the speed of which I was going. I hopefully this will come out all right. Okay, God bless and take care.